All right, so we're going to be answering a question that I get a lot in practice, which is what causes suicidal ideation? The way that I like to talk about suicidal ideation is part of a process. So the way that I describe it to my clients is that let's picture your life. And in this analogy, we're talking about your life being like an island of sorts. And when your life is good, the island is fine. It's got your job, your school, your friends, your family, your pets. And when your life is good, the island is pretty comfortable. Weather's good, friends are good. You don't really even notice it. It's just there. In contrast, if your mood is very, very depressed, the island that you live on, aka your life, feels suffocating. It feels boiling, traffic feels like gridlock, it feels like all of the emails, the voicemails, the responsibilities are mounting, and it gives you this sensation of, I need to get off this island. That is depression. So for the person that is depressed, what they start to do is they start to isolate, right? They climb into bed, they turn off their phone. So the analogy that I use is that they kind of get into a rowboat and pull away from the island. In the first hour of isolating, it feels like heaven, right? It feels like, I need this. I just need to turn off my phone and just take a break and decompress. And in 1 hour, I will come from being in this rowboat and I will row back to shore, and I swear I will tackle everything on the to-do list. I'll be a new me, and I will start to get my life back together, right? This is what the depressed person is thinking. However, the problem is that depression doesn't always like to just isolate for an hour. Depression says, hey, if 1 hour was good, how about 2, right? And what happens is the person that's depressed isolates, and it turns into 1 to 5 hours, maybe a couple days, and they drift away from shore. What is the problem with drifting away from shore in terms of social isolation? Well, the problem with that is that all of the problems that were on the island, the bills, the cat litter, the kids, the friends, the job, the voicemails, the expectations, since you have pulled away, have grown, right? There's 20 emails, there's 50 voicemails, there's 100 things that you forgot to do. And so now this person out in the middle of the ocean, metaphorically speaking, starts to look back and says, oh my God, like I thought I was depressed before, but now I've made it worse. I am such a piece of crap. I am such a moron. How could I have just isolated myself for 4 days? Because now people are angry with me. The voicemails went from, hope you're okay, to where is this? Where has it been? Right? The kids are hungry. The groceries haven't gotten purchased. Everything that was bad is now 100 times worse. And the person who is depressed, who now feels like they caused things to get worse, starts to take it out on themselves, saying, I'm a piece of crap. This has always been me. This is not my first time of being depressed and letting everybody down. Let's be honest, even my support system is burned out on my crap. They know that, I'm never going to get my act together. So let's just say it. F it, I'm out, right? And that moment of getting to F it, I'm out, that's the suicidal thinking, because the person feels like they are the reason that everything is worse. And since they perceive that people are angry at them or that they can't dig themselves out of that hole, they start to feel like it's just better to just sort of disappear, okay? So the most important takeaway from this is that if you are depressed, it is completely normal to want to climb into bed and turn your phone off. That's okay, but you have to put time limits on it. You cannot climb into bed and turn off your phone for 1 to 5 hours a day, because you will drift out to sea and then you will end up engaging in self-loathing when you realize that everything has gotten worse. If you need to take a 1 hour break, great. But after 1 hour, you have to get up and check in with the world, go get a cup of coffee, call a friend, take a walk, but do not string multiple hours together of social isolation. That is the number one thing that causes depression, which can also cause suicidal thinking. If you know someone who is suicidal, please encourage them to get help. Depression is very treatable, as is suicidal ideation. I hope this helps.